In 2009, the corporate world was taken aback by a shocking revelation from India's IT giant Satyam Computers. This behemoth of the tech industry, once revered for its prowess and innovation, was suddenly under the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. The company's founder, Ramalinga Raju, had confessed to a massive fraud. The accounts had been falsified to the tune of around $1 billion. This deceit had a far-reaching impact, shaking not only the company's stakeholders, but also the entire IT industry. Trust was broken, and the reputation of one of India's leading companies was tarnished. Investors and employees alike were left in a state of disbelief and betrayal. But the Satyam scandal was not an isolated incident. It was a stark reminder of the unethical practices that are sometimes deeply ingrained within corporate culture, often hidden under the veil of business proceedings. The Satyam scandal, unfortunately, was just the tip of the iceberg in a sea of unethical corporate practices. Unethical practices are not a recent phenomenon. They have been silently accompanying businesses for decades. Travel with me now, back in time, to the 1980s. It was during this era that one of the most horrifying industrial disasters occurred, the Bhopal gas tragedy. Union Carbide, the company behind the disaster, allowed a deadly gas leak that resulted in the death and suffering of thousands. The ghosts of this tragedy still haunt the corporate world, serving as a chilling reminder of the consequences of disregarding public safety. As we move forward on our timeline, we arrive at the turn of the 21st century. A name synonymous with corporate scandal emerges from the shadows: Enron. Once touted as the epitome of business success, Enron's fall from grace was swift and brutal. Their story is a masterclass in the art of deception, as they manipulated their financial records to create an illusion of profitability. This lack of transparency led to their downfall, causing shockwaves that reverberated through global stock markets. Fast forward to the second decade of the 21st century, and we find ourselves face to face with the Volkswagen emission scandal. The company, known for its reliability and quality, shocked the world when it was revealed they had installed software in their cars to cheat emission tests. The scandal was a stark reminder of the lengths corporations could go in their pursuit of profit, even if it meant endangering the environment and public health. Through each of these incidents, a common thread emerges: a disregard for public safety, a lack of transparency, and an insatiable greed. These are not isolated incidents, but part of a broader pattern that has been repeating itself across decades. Businesses, in their pursuit of profit, have often overlooked the ethical implications of their actions, resulting in dire consequences. These incidents, spread across decades, reveal a disturbing pattern of unethical practices that have been consistently undermining the trust and faith people place in corporations. As we continue our journey, we must ask ourselves, what does the future hold for corporate ethics? And more importantly, how can we ensure that businesses prioritize ethics over profit? As we navigate through the 21st century, the question that looms large is, what happens if such unethical practices continue? Let's imagine the potential implications. Firstly, there's the erosion of public trust. The bond between corporations and society is akin to a sacred pact, deeply rooted in trust. But what happens when that trust is shattered? It's simple, really. The public, feeling betrayed, withdraws its support. This could mean lower product sales, decreased investments, and an overall decline in the corporate image. Then there's the risk of economic instability. Unethical practices can lead to inflated profits and manipulated market trends, creating an artificial economic bubble that, when burst, can cause widespread financial chaos. Remember the global financial crisis of 2008? It's a stark reminder of how unethical corporate practices can lead to catastrophic economic consequences. Legal repercussions are another significant concern. Laws are becoming more stringent, and regulatory bodies more vigilant. Companies caught in unethical practices could face severe penalties, lawsuits, and even the possibility of closure. Last but not least, let's not forget the impact on employee morale. Employees want to work for companies they can be proud of, companies that uphold ethical standards. Unethical practices can lead to a demotivated workforce, high attrition rates, and a toxic work culture. Now contrast this bleak picture with a future where ethical practices are the norm. Such a future promises sustainable business growth and development. It fosters a culture of trust and transparency, promotes economic stability, safeguards against legal consequences, and nurtures a motivated workforce. The future of business lies in ethical practices. It's high time corporations realize that unethical shortcuts may offer temporary gains but at the cost of long-term sustainability and credibility.